Welcome to Friday night.
Now on Facebook Live and RadioBuzz.com, this is it's a party. The KIRK LOCKHART Show, the online media strategist, and we are live on Facebook.
All right.
All right.
Okay, we're back. We're back again every Friday, guys. That's what we're doing. I'm Kirk, of course. I'm KIRK LOCKHART, the social media strategist, formerly the Facebook strategist. I graduated. Okay,
there you go.
I graduated. I had no choice. Okay, I've got a guest on the line with me right now. I got Steve-Schlichting out of Dallas, Texas, from SlickTax.com. SlickTax. Give me a 2-minute introduction of what SlickTax is, who you are, how long you guys been doing this.
Hey, Kirk, thank you. The Schlichting Group's been in business since 1990, and our original founding was to help people with tax problems get their taxes straightened out and get them on a resolution plan to help them polish it up, get squared away, refocus their energy on trying to build their business. And once we polish them up, we work to try to help them stay on top of their taxes and be proactive with bookkeeping and everything else so they can help get to the next level and keep the IRS out of their daily life.
Okay. So 20 years ago when you started this, of course, we didn't have all of these different social media channels. Let me guess, what? Radio, TV, Yellow Pages, newspaper?
Well, as you know, Kirk, because you were around in those days, slinging some Yellow Pages.
Yes.
But, the Yellow Pages was pretty much the end-all be-all. You could do some green sheets or thrifty nickel or newspapers, and as everybody knows, for the most part, print's right up there with direct mail.
Okay.
You're getting about a 2% flow through. So from an ROI standpoint, that's not the world's greatest.
Right.
For any small businessman out there, taking care of your clients and helping them be your best cheerleaders to tell others how great you are, that's your basic foundation to build upon. And then from there, you got to find things that work. And, what my dad did at the time, he had a guy that was hustling him and working on him really hard. Said, "Hey, try this radio thing out." And Dad found a local guy that was a sports radio guy, and said, "I'll give it a shot."
How many years? How many years did you guys do radio?
We did radio for almost 25 years.
Okay.
Just till after my dad passed away.
Now, radio is not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but I got to ask you this question. In comparison today, and when you're talking about engaging with your client base, I mean, there's no business that needs to engage with their past, present, and potential clients like tax preparation, business services. What is the best? What's the best way? What are you right now? If we were on Family Feud, name the number one way to engage with past, present, future clients. What's the answer?
Well, that's your CRM, man, and being able to work that through, emails. But there's also the other avenue that, my problem is my email gets bombarded. I don't read newsletters, and I hate them in my email box. So I don't do newsletters anymore.
Right.
And that's where I've stepped up to social media. But that also means you got to put some time in. You got to put content in. And, what I tend to do is go, here's things that I see going on in the tax world that impacts them or have some interest. But, if they're on Facebook, they can look at it. And if they don't want to look at it, they can let it slide. And, when there's things like today I'm going, there's 11 days left on the deadline to get your return in. If you haven't filed your return, go to the website, file an extension. We'll get it taken care of.
Wow.
It's just soft touches and it's communication. I see some of these other guys out there trying to ask 4 or 5 questions a day, and people hate that. It's not relevant, and it just spans up the Facebook thread.
Now, if you couple your experience with using the tools that are available today, I see you being even more successful than the average, because I worked with you before in other mediums, and a lot of times the industry inside out. A person who knows the industry and uses social media is dangerous, okay? You got to know what to post, when to post, and how to post. You got to know who to target. A Facebook boost is only as good as the demographic you choose. and only as good as the time of the week that you actually post the boost. Okay.
No, you're right. You're right on that. And you got to be really careful with your content, because if it's screaming, hey, you need to hire me, you need to hire me, you need to hire me, that's really narcissistic, and people will shut you down.
Right.
You got to be able to provide content and knowledge and education that you're providing knowledge.
Right.
Because as I see myself in the text, I try to shepherd my folks through it, and I try to give them guidance.
So what I'm hearing from you, I want to keep it on social media as much as possible. And you kind of hit my content management nerve when you're saying that. You got to try to do something pretty much daily, because there's so many people throwing so much other stuff out on Facebook that it's gonna spit on. There's a million different channels, and if they miss it, they miss it. But, once or twice a day, I know people who try to do it 10 times a day, and I think that's just, that's
spammy.
Well, that's those words. I'm careful with the jargon, because that is something that salespeople use a lot of that to control people's thought patterns. It's like religion. I call it, there's a word, I laugh. I use the word religion in marketing all the time, because when someone sells advertising, they have been converted by a cult. Okay. I used to be a part of Cult Yellow Pages. You know what I'm talking about. Cult Yellow Pages.
You've been part of a lot of cults.
Yeah, that one especially, because they said, the only, the way to reach people locally is Yellow Pages. And if you're not in that book that goes to that neighborhood, no one's going to call you. Okay. Well, the only thing that was true is no one's going to call you out of that book if you're not in it. But that doesn't mean someone's going to call you out of that book. Okay. What I believe now more than anything is statistics and analytics. Okay. So I'm more of a scientist when it comes to media, and these
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, the numbers talk. They tell you everything.
If you're going to make the spend, you got to make sure you get the because there's a million different things you can throw money at, and it's easy to burn through money for a lot of folks, especially just starting out.
Yeah, especially, what was the word you used to hate? Pay-per-click. Okay. Hey, it works for those, but you got to have a margins to do pay-per-click. That's where social media has leveled the playing field, because it's not just pay-per-click. You do pay to play. If you don't pay to play, you don't get to play with the big kids. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to give you 4 tips real quick for content management, because that is the key probably to what we're going to do with you. Quality. Okay. Because this is what Google looks at. In the last algorithm, I swear, almost every week I say something about the latest algorithm. The last algorithm with Google was focused on quality. It's not about the things you used to do. When we used to talk SEO, we used to talk about keyword tags and that's not.
But you know why you say that? If Google says that, it's because they want you to stay hot on what's going on.
They keep
it's just like their content management. You think, hey, here we got to pay attention to this wrinkle. So they're kind of leading you around to help you stay in contact with them, so you stay on the button.
It's a game. But you got to know when you're being played with. They say quality. Okay, do your research. You got to know what, where, and how people are looking. Okay, you got to know that. You got to be relevant. You got to be more relevant than anything. Your content has to be relevant. It's not anymore about just one keyword. You used the word earlier, spammy. Man, if you have too many of one word in one piece of information, they're gonna ding you. You can't. There's only so many characters you could post in a blog. Only so many characters you can post in Twitter. Only so many characters you can post in Facebook before you become spammy. You can only post a URL. What Chris? I think Chris is busy right now, but he can attest to this. Someone posted something on accident. They posted a URL. Okay. What happens when you post a URL in a post now, Chris, especially on a group?
Oh yeah, you get blocked.
Okay,
you're gonna get restricted.
Now I didn't mean to go there. I had to ask him that because he's a witness. People posting URLs, they think that they're actually people are seeing it, and then they look and they realize they've been restricted. They look in their notifications and see they can't use the mess. They can't even post a comment for 48 hours, 72 hours because they posted a URL. You got to really be careful. If you don't know what you're doing, it's really counterproductive in social media. Okay. You said some people post too much. Some people don't post enough.
Well,
different channels.
I'm saying that they don't post relevant content. content. People go, hey, if you won the lottery, this type of, and it's just crazy, stupid. Just there's no real direction to what they're just trying to interact.
But you got to know when to do something that's not shop, when not to talk shop. Three of the most successful posts last week that actually led to customers for 2 different customers was a quote. They posted a quote. Mm-hmm. They got business off a quote.
Right.
Now, a quote, it wasn't even related to their industry. It was just a quote. 1,100 likes for a quote. Okay. So you got to know, you got to be open-minded. I'm not going to give you guys any hard line rules. All right. Again, I'm not religious. Okay. I am the social media evangelist, which means I'm a strong,
or the
influencer.
Social media shepherd.
Sometimes.
Because you get to herd the sheep, but sheep got free will. But if they run off and get eaten by the wolf, that's their.
Yeah, they didn't listen. I couldn't make him. I said, "Get over here, Toby," and he just kept going. He's like, "What is that?" I said, "Don't do it. Don't do it." He went over there. Okay. Well, that's how I feel about my clients that try so many different things. I was telling Chris earlier about someone doing direct mail. A past customer started doing direct mail. Not direct mail, direct email. And it really got frustrating for. Yeah, you heard. Now I know, I know you guys see. It's not fair to say, "Oh, it's simple. Oh, that's easy." It's a no-brainer. You can't say that when people don't have experience or wisdom in that area, because this is a very, very, very intuitive, smart person. But he was man enough to say, this ain't my lane. Well,
I mean, but it's like I said with the newsletter. If it was 10, 12, 15 years ago, email might be the catch. But the problem is everybody's getting 200, 300, 400 emails a day. And even if you're trying to filter them out, everybody's throwing stuff your way. You go, I got to get in, clear all this stuff out, and figure out what the action items are.
Are you sure you got enough news to have a newsletter? Do you have enough relevant news and timely news to have a newsletter? That could just be a post or a blog post. That could just be, that's it.
That's right.
And then the thing is, this is like the line, and it's really narrow. It looks kind of like what you're doing, but a little bit different. Okay. I'll do something, and sometimes I'll have someone that says, "Oh, I know I need to do something different, but I don't want to do that. I don't like that." And I said, "Well, I got to, this is what I do. Can you allow me to do this for you? If you let me do it." And then maybe a week later, after they've made the money back that they've invested for the year, then they could say, "Okay, now I trust you." But it's like a show and prove thing. We still have to do that. But unfortunately, we're too busy to do these trials. I'm not who does trials? There's a lot of companies that do like a little trial. Trust me, it ain't free. They call it a trial. You ain't getting nothing.
I don't do any trials like that because as soon as they say pull the credit card out, it might be free, but you're
gonna get billed.
Kirk knows me. I'm pretty darn frugal.
So my question is, are we gonna be doing your social media after today?
Yeah, we're gonna give it a shot and see what you can do. I mean, here's the deal with everybody listening. Kirk has been doing this for a long time. He did the Yellow Pages. He did the Verizon. He did the Google. He's been around. And here's the deal.
Web design.
Everything, as Kirk has always said, is he doesn't want to say something if it doesn't work. Because if it doesn't work, you ain't going to ever call him again. And there's a reason why he's got a plethora, cornucopia of these folks that have followed him across the nation, because he's not here to BS you. He's here to try to see that you get your money's worth and build your business.
Thank you.
That's what Kirk tries to do.
I gotta kind of say that about.
Listen to him. You gotta look squint at him a little bit from time to time, but he's asking you to make a leap of faith.
Yeah.
And change is not easy. But if you don't change, the world's going to adapt, and it's going to leave you behind.
Well, I got to throw that back at you. Thank you. I got to throw that back at you because when I was in Yellow Pages, you guys were one of the biggest. You had the biggest ads in the Yellow Pages, and you did.
Historically, we locked those up. You know me.
Yeah.
I ain't the one who's throwing cash around or blowing it around. We We want the leader ad right there, and not much more, man.
Right.
No half pages or pages or anything like that.
I remember selling you guys leader ads. That was my push, because I thought that it was best to be the first. I had an internet mentality, though. If you do remember, when everybody was thinking print, big ads, I was thinking placement and frequency. You know, everybody who looked at the heading saw you guys. But what I'm trying to throw back at you, it's the same thing. Business didn't change. The tools changed. The business, the way you guys did business, if you got 30 new clients, those 30 new clients referred 2 clients. And then those 60 clients you got from those 30 clients, they referred 2 people. That's how it used to work. Okay. The same thing happens on internet. And I'm going to say this. I know a lot of people know this, but I just love telling people because it's the truth. If you have on most people's Facebook profile, they have at least 1,000 friends. Okay. Now, you know, they really got 12 friends in real life, but they got 1,000 Facebook friends, right?
They only got 12.
They got 12. Can we say 12? Is that safe? Okay. It's number government.
I keep it with, if I know the folks and I interact with them, and, you know, now LinkedIn's a whole different ballgame, man, because that's all, somebody gave me a card and I gave them a card, and, you know,
we talking business
comes up.
We talking B2B. We're talking professionals. I love LinkedIn, but let me finish this statement because it's so related to what people don't realize about social media. That you got someone with a profile, they've got 1,000 friends, so-called associates, affiliates, people that follow them, however you want to look at it, because I'm talking about the profile, not the business page. When a person likes your profile, that opens their 1,000 people to your ad message. Okay. Now, if I did that one day at a time and I gave you 1,000 people because you got one new friend, you got a good chance of getting one new customer off of their 1,000 friends. Okay.
Sure.
Now, what happened? Today,
that's the direct mail deal, man. 2%, man.
Well, that was direct mail.
It's not even 2%. That's 1 out of 1,000.
It still exists, though. The numbers they're prevalent, but the difference is what you said earlier. Your email gets bogged down. One thing about your timeline on both Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, it changes. You don't get bogged down on your timeline. The last person in is the last message received on the timeline.
Right.
Okay. So
then they've been harvesting some of that because there's so much stuff that's been, especially politics and everything else. But there's so much stuff going on that they're narrowing people's bandwidth on because eventually, you know, when you start out, everybody's got 5 or 10 or a couple hundred friends. Now, like you said, there's too many people who don't really know these folks, and they've got a couple thousand friends. And eventually, if you do that, everybody knows everybody else, and nobody knows anybody.
I hate to say this, but that's not my problem. I love it. We love it. We love the fact, because the thing is, everybody always says that it has an idea and invention. They say, man, if I could just get this out to the world, everybody will love it. We have real, live, tangible evidence of people who have a message, a business, sometimes a cause that is so hot that everybody responds. And it doesn't matter if those people grew up with them or from the same city or any of that. My Facebook friends are from all over the country and some outside of the country. Okay. I don't want to get a call from the White House.
All over the country and all over the world.
Yeah. You give, okay. And it doesn't matter. We're shocked by business I had somebody that had friends from overseas. It's a travel company, called me to tell me, can you believe I booked trips in Australia? And they kind of like, now understand this, the only marketing they were doing was Facebook marketing. Okay.
Sure.
And when their profile was set up, I don't believe in setting up a profile without friends. There's too many people who have a profile that has 11 friends. We got to fix that.
Well, but I mean, no I can reference that back when early keywords and things were picked up off a website. I mean, we did that way back where we said we do expatriate returns, and all of a sudden, that next day I had a dozen guys on a rig in Afghanistan go, dude, man, we need somebody to do our returns, but very few people. Well, most walking places in the States have screwed them up. And
was it military and expatriate? Is that what you said? Military and expatriate? Is that what the way you worded it then? What was it?
Yeah, it's the military and expatriate guys.
Right.
If you work abroad, overseas workers.
Yes.
And something that they went through and it ended up on our, because like I said, I've always been an organic guy. I'm not been a pay-per-click or pay for a lot of stuff other than organic, because we're usually at the front end of things. But there are things that different programs that people offer that they throw in some of that stuff to try to sweeten the pot.
I have a friend that does resumes. Supposed to call in today. I hadn't heard from him. He said that I think there was a certain kind of resume. I'm not going to mention it because I'm not going to give him the plug today. We'll talk about it next week. Okay. But there was a specific type of resume that he does that I didn't see anybody else market. And it's something that is a game changer. It's a game changer. And that's what it reminded me of when you said that.
Sure.
And it's that simple. Now,
it's
get
niche
this.
marketing, man.
It's
if
niche.
You can find the stuff that nobody else does.
Right.
Niche is huge.
It's still SEO. Okay. It's just, and there's, and I'll throw another word at you before we end the show. How much time we got, Chris?
Oh, we got a little bit of time.
Okay, good.
You're all right.
There's a couple of words that come to mind. You got my synergy kicked up. Search engine optimization, SEO, is still relevant when you're talking about social media, just as much as anything else, because people still do searches on Facebook, Instagram, and my favorite, YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. Right. And people don't realize the audience that YouTube has is phenomenal. Every customer I have is on YouTube. They're all going to be on YouTube. If they haven't done any video, they have to.
Just look at the news, man.
Everybody is.
I mean, YouTube's been in the news this week from the crazy lady because they pulled their ads from her.
Yeah, don't go too deep in there. I gotta keep smiling. Crazy. Don't go there. Some people sad about that right now. I want to talk about YouTube on that level. I only want to talk about the fact that everybody look at it. You feel me? Everybody.
Right.
So the kids are looking at it. The kids. We were at lunch, and all the little kids were on their little 7s or whatever. One of them's on an iPad mini, and she's looking at YouTube, and she knows how to navigate you. She can't even talk yet, and she knows how to use YouTube. Okay.
Sure.
If you don't believe in social media, if you're talking about direct mail, if you're talking about things like hard copy, things you hold, even my authors, I do a lot of different authors that write books, write novels, paperback, hard copy, the whole nine. Guess what? Kindle, digital. There are people who prefer the digital version of a book. There are people who prefer the audio version of a book, but it's no longer hard copy. Is the point? Okay. It's digital media. I am a digital media evangelist. I believe, and it's not what I think, it's what I can see, it's what I know, it's what we can prove. We can prove that this is how you can be found. If you ask you could ask a child, where's the best place to put something? You know what a kid would say? Put it where people look.
No, I mean, culturally, you're exactly right. That's when we redid our website about 5 or 6 years ago. Mm-hmm. We took a lot of content down because what people want is they want what they want.
It used to be like a book.
They can think about it, and
remember
if they have to wade through anything, they go on to the next thing.
You remember it used to be like a book? Right. Do you remember that?
Big button.
You remember your website
C or D.
Before WordPress? Remember your website used to be like a book,
right?
It was tons of information. It was either go to your site or the IRS site. They were pretty similar. They both had a bunch of content, right?
No, ours was never that bad.
I'm sorry.
The IRS site is better than it used to be.
It's a lot better. It's not. That's not my point. It's about relevance.
I know that's your point.
Yeah, it's about relevance. It's about answering questions. If you
people don't care about any other stuff except what they care about that second. And that's where even with my sales funnel, I'm breaking out different services to different websites. Because, when they go to a website and everybody tries to cram one thing on there, they go, well, they do this, that, and the other, and my stuff's on there, but I know this is a big issue. Is it a big enough issue with them? I don't want to worry about it. I want them to go, IRS Audit Dallas, and it pops up and go, here's a guy who's been doing it forever, worked for the IRS for 30 plus years, been representing people for 15 years. there's no reason to hire anybody else. Give us a call.
You know the best source of free traffic?
Set it up.
You know the best source of free traffic for your website? Social media. People, exactly. I was able to replace, I had someone that was doing pay-per-click, made a challenge to me. What can you do to give me some real good traffic based on what I've been doing? I looked at their pay-per-click campaign. I said, give me your pay-per-click campaign, just invest it. Give me what you're doing on just Google. They were doing Google. Now they do, instead of just doing Google AdWords, I took that budget and I bought Bing. I put them on Bing. I put them on Yahoo. I put them on, they were still on Google AdWords, but well, you
spread it around.
I spread it around.
Everybody doesn't just use Google. There's still people who use Yahoo. I think there's probably somebody who still use Netcrawler out there. You know,
they can. You can use it. It doesn't matter.
Have an AOL address on their damn business card.
I'm not knocking that they do that. There are people who still walk. There are people who still ride bikes, especially here. People do a lot of things. That's not the point. The point is doing it better. How do you do something? How do you take the same amount of money and get more out of it? Return on investment is based off of your investment. What you spend, getting more back than you invested. How much more? How many more times can I get this money back? So I would take, and this is what I did with every company. I would take the budget they already had. That's why I prefer people who are already advertising, because I have to, as an evangelist, I have to save the ones who don't believe in it. I've got to enlighten them and get them to believe in the media. And I really prefer people. I don't mind, because I came to help those people. I don't mind coming to save those people. They're just a lot harder sometimes. But the people who know,
it's like going deep sea fishing, man. If you only put one line in the water, you only got one shot.
That's a good way of looking at it.
Lines on each side of the boat.
That's a good way of looking at it. The problem is a lot of people can't afford deep sea fishing. So I gotta, those who, if they can afford deep sea fishing, I want them to be my customer. But for those who are only spending a little money on
deep sea fishing was that expensive. I guess I haven't been in.
Come on, man.
12. So
okay. I live in LA. You got to see people there. Everybody can't deep sea fish out here. I met people in LA that ain't been to the beach. Okay, got a business, have not been to the beach.
There's a lot of people that ain't been to the beach.
The beach is west.
The beach in 10 years.
But the beach is west. You can get there in 15 minutes. Okay. But the point of all of those different.
I walk out the door and it's a big beach all the way.
Okay, you go to the beach. I'm gonna finish the statement. The point of them taking that same amount of money, buying different forms of media. Understand, it's media. We're not locked into one thing. We're taking different areas of media. We're investing enough in each one of them to find out which is the one that fits their niche. Okay. Analytics are now, after that, your programmatic advertising is telling you which channel you should be spending the most money in. We look at stuff like I heard somebody say this, and Chris looked at me, rolled his eyes when they said it. Likes don't matter. You're looking like, really? So you're telling me you got two different people. You want somebody to handle your taxes, your business taxes. One customer has 12 likes and the other one has 3,000. You telling me you're going to pick the one with 12? You're going to trust them with your financial help.
The 12 will pick that one.
That's the only one. Come on. I mean,
because those are the only real ones, is those 12. So only those 12 will ever select that one.
That's it.
So new ones will never see it.
That's right. Because they don't even come up, because there's at least, remember I was talking about 3-pack. This was another conversation about the 3-pack on Google Maps. It's not quite a 3-pack on Facebook when you do a search, but what you'll notice is when you do a search on Facebook, they give you different search results, and they only show you like 3 of each, and you have to hit more to see the rest. Okay, you're not going to show up on those 3 unless you're relevant. You got to know the criteria of how Facebook ranks those 3 people that show up first. One of them just so happens to be engagement. Okay. So you have no engagement. You have no likes. You have no followers. You have no reviews. You have no pictures. You have no videos. But you want to show up. And then you're wondering why. Okay. All of these factors are going to affect the overall effectiveness of your campaigns on each channel.
Sure.
And if you don't know the rules of thumb, I think what was it you said a little while ago? The terms of service, terms of
use. Yeah.
If you don't know the terms of use, and you're just posting, good luck. Good luck. I'm sorry. So that's what we're here to do. Steve, I really value your opinion. That's why I wanted you on, because 20 plus years in the same industry, finding success year after year, being able to grow, that's not easy. Everybody can't say they did that. That's like LeBron has gotten better every year somehow. I don't understand that either. He's gotten better. He's in year 15 and he's playing better than he did when he was, 10 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, where's the rings, man? Yeah,
we ain't gonna go there. We know Jordan rules. Everybody our age knows who the real best player ever was. Okay, so I'm arguing about this later.
Out there. Yeah,
that's gonna be another show later tonight. I know it.
He's the best out there, man.
I know it. But even if we do mention sports, you got to admit something. Social media again. One of the most popular shows on is Skip and Shannon, Undisputed. Okay.
Yep.
That show it's an internet show. It's not just ESPN. It's not just on TV. More people watch look at go look at.
Why do you think that the format has blown up like it has?
That's what people want to see.
Format.
That's what people want to see.
I mean, you got stations that have no games on, but they sit and talk about sports all day.
We're gonna do it,
and they're looking at the content.
We do it.
The way ESPN grew.
We laugh. Me and Chris laugh. Get this, Steve.
All these cable bill things that people complain about is the bill that they pay for live sports at ESPN.
Yep. Steve, me and Chris were laughing because sometimes we say, do you realize we make a living having fun? He said, even like, we
play around on
Facebook. Okay. We were, customers, I'm talking about people pay big money to market. And, I don't sit up here. I'm not trying to get everybody I don't have to sell that. That's a no-brainer. People want to market. Every business wants to be seen. They want to be known. They want to grow. When I ask, what is your goal? What is your goal? What is your motivation? What is it that you want to do? What is your business purpose? What do you? I want to grow my business. I don't want to do anything else but this. Well, you can't do that if you had the same thing you had last year. I said, if you do the same thing today that you've always done exactly the same way, you're going to get the same thing you've always got.
No, you got to embrace change. You always got to be adapted. Mm-hmm. And because here's the deal is if you wait, everybody, and you're like, I'm the head of the pack. Well, the guy behind you's watching what you're doing. Because we had that happen. We had some people go out and it's like, oh man, these are the guys leading the pack. So let's duplicate what they do. Well, and they spend a lot more at doing it. But, they're banging away. And a good businessman's going to look how other successful people work. I get people in here that their business is challenged, and I go watch Bar Rescue, go watch Jeffrey Lamona's The Prophet, go watch Shark Tank. Know your numbers, know your P&Ls. And, these people are coming in, they hadn't filed a return in 5 or 6 years and trying to run a business. And I go, returns of annual profit and loss statement, guys.
Do you remember?
You don't know even your annuals are. How do you know you're making money?
Do you remember what they call this? The thing they call pyramid schemes.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with those? Now the nice name is, say it with me, Chris.
MLM.
Okay, MLM. I don't have anything against in their businesses. All businesses are set up on the same model of.
Some people are really successful with that.
Yes,
some
they
people
are.
Do extremely well, but there's a lot of people that really don't make anything, and they spend a lot of money, and they just kind of churn the pool and make people at the top wealthy.
Right. My point of bringing it up is that you can't be successful in that industry unless you are fearless. You cannot be scared. I've never met anyone that got in MLM that was scared and was successful. You cannot do.
No, you got to hustle, man.
You got
to.
They say don't.
Going to make money sitting on their butt.
Well, their theory is don't get out and hustle. Their theory is don't reinvent the wheel. Okay, so what they tell you is do what we did and you'll make the money. That's the part of MLM I agree with. If you do what this guy did exactly the way he did it, you're going to be successful to a point. But let me show you something that you got to understand. After 3 people do exactly the same thing, it's not new anymore. Okay, it's not new anymore. It's not fresh anymore.
Let me get off the MLM and talk like insurance industry. Because they got a deal that says You make X amount of calls a day, you set X amount of meetings a day, which means you have X amount of closings. If you want to do more, you got to expand upon that. And it's about 3 years before your residuals start really kicking in. And you got to pound the pavement and that's the way it is with most small businesses.
Right. And
first 3 years are killer. Remember, 4 out of 5 businesses go out of business in their first 5 years.
I agree. I remember those numbers. Again, that's where the evangelist comes back in. They told me that too in sales. You got to make 100 phone calls to get 10 appointments, to get 3 proposals, to get 1 sale. I'm sorry. Yeah. I made 11 phone calls, set 11 appointments, made 11 sales. Okay.
Well,
once I did that, not everybody can't do that. Okay, hold on, because we're running out of time, and they're
talking about normal folks.
Yeah, let me show you.
You're not too normal.
I'm not normal, and I'm not saying everybody should do what I do. Let me make my point. That's why I'm the media evangelist. Okay, I'm not out here to make everybody do what I do. I'm out here to help people achieve the goals that they set for their business that they have yet to reach because there's something stopping them, whether it be fear, whether it be lack of faith in what they're doing, or maybe it's they don't actually do the service. Like you said, they got to get out there and work. Whatever it is, sometimes you need an extra pair of eyes to see what's missing that can come in and sort it out for you. Same way you do taxes, right? You sort out what they did. You're able to tell people, you know what? There's a reason that your credit score is low. There's a reason that you owe so much money. There's a reason that you can't get a return. You know, you got a business and you didn't keep any receipts. You didn't claim anything. I've heard you say these things before. We're doing the same thing for different industries. So for me, all I want to do is help people with what this one thing they don't understand. And that's this. They do not understand this beast they call social media. And I'm here to help them. And it's not the same, brother. I do not have the same doctrine for each client because each client has a different challenge.
There's no cookie cutter. Nope. Everybody has a different situation, and everyone's got a different solution or way to help them out. Because if you try to cookie cutter them, that goes back to making X amount of calls, to getting X amount of, and if you want to be above that, you got to put the effort and the time in.
That's false doctrine.
You're working on your media pulpit. And I work on the tax pulpit.
There you go.
Got to shepherd our flocks, man.
And we got to keep this false doctrine out their head and let them say, hey, look, study to show yourself approved. Stop listening to what everybody else is saying if they ain't making no money. Okay. So this is what I want to get. Man, I enjoyed this. I'd like to have you back, Steve. I really like to have you back. So let's plan to do this again. We're back every week. Time comes out. This is the part I hate. And then, now it's time to say goodbye to all our family. You got to wrap it up. And I'll see you guys.
No, there's a trademark on that.
What's that?
Don't do that.
No, I can't do that. I do not own the rights to this particular jingle.
You will get that letter from the mouse with ears, man.
I do not own the rights to this particular jingle. Okay? So I'm just going to leave it half-baked. All right? All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
There you go.
We'll see you next week. If you have questions, hit us on social media. Inbox me. You can go to either Radio Buzz. You can reach me through Radio Buzz. You can reach me through AskKirkLockhart at mail.com. You can Google AskKirkLockhart. There's only over about 20, 30 different sites that'll get you to me. Just do what you got to do. Okay? See you guys next week. Thanks, Steve. Who else did I
talk to you later, Kirk? You have a good weekend.
We got him? Got it. Thanks.
Cool. Okay. All right. We got a couple of sponsors we want to mention before we exit out. Slick Tax on Facebook.com/Slick Tax. That's SLICKTAX. Also, TotalAwesomeHair.com. Totally awesomehair.com. Also, check this free promo tips video out. We got the link right there in the comments as well as in the description. Check it out. Share, view, do everything possible to get all of these folks out. This helps out Kirk. Also, feel free to post any comments into the description here, and Kirk will also respond on a later time as well. So if you're watching this recording, you can also view that. All right, I think we're going to wrap things up. We're a little delayed here. That Facebook update was a little odd this morning. But I think we overcome it.
I think so, man. I love it.
I was just kind of running the time out here a little bit. Was there anything else you wanted to close out? We got a few more minutes left.
Mainly with thanks. mainly with thanks. There's some people who were supposed to. My friend Harris, Patrick, tried to make the show last week, and he just barely missed it. But he still got a comment up under the radar. So I wanted to give him a shout out. Go ahead and let's do your ad experience next week, Patrick. Amanda, get well, Amanda. Amanda, she knows who she is. I'm not going to say anything else. She knows who she is. Amanda, get well. We want you on next week. Did we get another? Who else?
What's that?
I think that's it.
That was. We had a lot of great support for the show. So share if you like this. Let's see here. We got a couple of messages coming in. All right. So cool stuff. We're going to wrap things up. Share, like, and let everyone know. Join us next week at 2 p.m. on the right here on Facebook.com/Radio Buzz, and visit us at RadioBuzzD.com.
We are in Southern California, Hollywood, Los Angeles County, the home of the stars. Man, see you guys next week.
RadioBuzz.com, streaming the best rock worldwide.
Did his website not work?